I honestly didn't know how good this bike was going to be. I came into it neutral, maybe even a little skeptical. But the more I rode it, the more it continued to surprise me. Woo! In fact, I can honestly say this is one of the most considered bikes I've ever ridden, except for one glaring issue, which we will get into. This is the Scott Addict, a long ride ready drop bar bike that prioritizes comfort and performance. This one got me.
This bike does something totally different. It takes a common problem and gives it an elegant solution. What if the bike didn't need a multi-tool? What if you just needed one tool for the whole bike? And what if that one tool actually came with and stored on the bike itself?
There is one secret tool that basically runs this whole bike.
On the non-drive side, there's a tool that locks into the bar end. And the crazy thing about it is that it's just one tool that serves multiple purposes. For example, this whole bike, all the bolts on it that you need to adjust are T25, which is exactly what this tool is. I'm telling you, it's everything. From the stem to the seat post, even the bottle cages. Plus, this is the coolest part. It also works on the through axle, the same tool.
It's the kind of design detail that makes you wonder, why doesn't every bike do this?
Brilliant. This is brilliant.
Not everyone needs a super twitchy race bike, and not everybody wants a crazy aggressive gravel bike. For some folks, we just want something that's in between. Something that's comfortable, but still capable of hauling balls. Something that prioritizes fun as much as it prioritizes performance. So for those of us that like to ride big days and often, why do we have to sacrifice comfort by riding some kind of race bike? Why can't we find that happy balance? The harmonious rhythm between performance and comfort. And just when I thought that was it, the Addict had another trick up its sleeve. I'm a firm believer that every bike should have its own dedicated toolkit, patch kit, and pump. And mine usually ends up crammed under the seat post in some disorganized, dysfunctional what have you. Isn't always the best look, and it's just a means to an end. What if a bike actually already figures this out for us?
Yeah, right.
That's not just thoughtful, that's real-world problem solving.
On the two higher end spec builds, this thing actually comes with a full repair kit. Unheard of. It's down here next to the bottom bracket. Look at how easy this is. Everything we need in this little case. Like a TPU tube, 2 tire levers, and I shit you not, an actual pump. Talk about convenience.
Most of the time, brands add complexity in the name of innovation, but with the Addict, it actually felt like it was helping me along.
The integrated light has a cool feature. It will sleep when the bike sits for around 2 minutes, and then when you move it, it just turns on. That's awesome. The frame bag is designed specifically for the frames. But the light and the frame bag, those are add-on accessories. They don't come with the bike.
If you like fancy bikes, bad haircuts, and questionable all you're gonna get editing, feel free to subscribe. All right, how does this thing ride?
It comes stock with Schwalbe 34s, and it has clearance for up to 38.
It's carbon fiber. It's made to ride, not race. It's comfortable. It's responsive. It feels like it knows what it's doing, even if I don't. It's like the all-road bike of my dreams. This thing is amazing, but not perfect, and I am absolutely going to fill you in as to why very shortly.
Here's a couple interesting things I learned about bikes on this trip. Like steel, carbon fiber has an infinite fatigue life when kept under its stress threshold, which means they can design flex into the product and it'll work indefinitely. I was always under the impression that carbon would just wear out. Shows you what I know. There's a whole bunch of engineering science that's gone into the construction of this frame, which I'm just not smart enough to explain it to you.
Preferred use case for a bike like this will be long days, mostly road, with the occasional mixed terrain. Yeah, that's the sweet spot. And another thing that they did on this that is kind of cool is this doesn't just come in at an $8,000 unobtainium premium what have you. They have a bunch of variations on this, and the lowest spec is around $2,500. But I think that it's more or less the same frame throughout, and they're all carbon fiber. My stupid thing gave me a lift. So I was actually very curious, what makes this bike comfortable for long rides? Like, explain it to me, simply.
A lot of this is achieved through the frame design. One example of this is the seat tube. See how it goes from bigger to smaller? This is to help with ride feel and comfort without compromising performance.
We can see the frame flex and also the seat post flex, which is the comfort seat post.
And a similar thing is happening with the seat tube. See how it knocks in? That adds to a much more comfortable ride feel. And it surprisingly doesn't feel bouncy. Yeah.
I think to sum up why I was so excited about this bike, and no, I didn't get to keep it, although if they want to sell, it wasn't just the features, it was how they all add up. Like, this bike feels like it wants to be ridden often, not just saved for some special occasion. I think how to sum it up even better is this bike is extremely utilitarian. And that.
Now, I think it's safe to say we live in a time where brands don't necessarily make crappy product. A lot of neck on this shirt. This bike is no exception. This is a very capable, very comfortable, all-road rocket. Kind of my favorite category. With that said, there is one thing that I think is absolutely missing on a bike this considered. If I had this bike, I would ride it a lot, specifically in the winter. And where I live, winter means wet. And this bike, it doesn't have any fender mounts. That's like a hand without a thumb, or a dog without a tail. I actually asked the designers about this, and they said that their customers prefer strap-on fenders. I get it. This bike looks great without them, but for a bike this utilitarian, and from a guy who lives in a place that rains 10 months out of the year, I feel like it's a missed opportunity. What's your take? Do you think this bike deserves fender mounts? Now I just gotta figure out some strap-on fenders and how Scott can forget about one of these bikes. Now, I am actually in the Black Forest of Germany, and tomorrow I'm gonna be riding to Switzerland. And if you wanna join me for this adventure, just hit this video right here. And let me know, how does it go? Do I have a good time? Is everything, am I healthy? Does my skin...